All right, everybody. It is a Thursday night already. I cannot believe how fast this week is going. It's Joy Packard coming to you live from San Antonio, and I'm super excited to bring on our next amazing speaker. I've been telling you guys all about the speakers that we have coming up next Thursday. SimplezonSeller. It's at SimplezonSeller in Houston for April the 4th through the 6th. And we have over 21 speakers lined up. We have some amazing speakers all in the same place. It's crazy if you are within reach of this, like in Houston, from Houston. It's just, after you hear this lady speak tonight, you're going to be like, I'm there. I don't care where it is, how much it costs, I'm there. Because tonight I am bringing on the Amazon queen, Becky Thames, and she is a rock star. And I adore her. I met her probably about 3 years ago at an event, and that's the importance of events. And so she has, she does pretty much everything we talk about. And even people say, well, why do you go to conferences? Why do you do this still? And why do you do that? And this is one lady that I'm learning all the time, and it's exciting to see people like Becky that has consistent things. I told her before we got on this call how I love her. When I think of a word for Becky, I think of consistency, because she is where she's supposed to be. She helps the people that follow her. And even if the people that don't follow her, just listen to her. And she just has amazing content. And so we're super honored and privileged to have her coming to speak at the event. So Becky, welcome so much to this live and interview and I know you're a super busy lady, and it's such a privilege to have you. So can you tell everybody a little bit about yourself? I'm sure there's some people who know you and some who don't.
Okay, thank you. Well, first of all, Joy, thank you so much for having me on. I am super, super excited to be here, and also to be in Houston in like a couple of days. I have the days like counting down it on my phone, which I don't know where it's at. But anyway, I'm days until I'm in Houston. Super excited. So for those that don't know me, my name is Becky Thames, and I am super passionate about helping you earn your first dime online with e-commerce. No matter what type of e-commerce that you're doing, I've done it all, like everything. And guys, here's the main thing. I only do it part-time. So a lot of times the first question I get is, Becky, why don't you quit your job? Newsflash, not everybody wants to quit their job, right? You know what they want? They want the freedom that they can quit their job if they want to. And so if I wanted to walk out the door tomorrow, I would be perfectly fine, but I don't, because I work for an amazing company. I have an amazing boss, amazing chemist. I'm a scientist, and I've been selling online for 20 years.
Wow. See, I think that's amazing. It truly is amazing, because like you say, you could quit your job, but it's all about really what, to me, like success and being happy and everything. If this is what I want to do and what you're doing is making you happy, then, that's what success is. And I always, like in my presentations, there's a quote by Tony Robbins where, basically paraphrase, success is doing what you want, when you want, with who you want, whenever you want, something like that. And that's what I think about. And, when you say that, like about, this is, like you say, when people say, hey, why don't you quit your job? But that's what you still love to do, even though you do this on the side. Guys, if you see like what she does and her group and everything, and just the basically the success stories that she has doing part-time. Can you imagine if she was doing it full-time? And that's what blows me away, because like she is doing this part-time, but like making as much money as someone doing this full-time, and that's so amazing. And to be able to have her next week, and for our SimplezonSeller event, share her awesome sauce and her secrets and everything that can help us in some way. And so I know that, you do retail, you do online. I know you've done private label. You have a private label course. I mean, you can share that, like what course you have. You saw that private label course going where people can still join it?
Yes. So I do have my private label course, and mostly that's what I do focus on is private label, because I literally do not touch my products. And that's another reason that I can keep my full-time career, is because I have several suppliers. One I can text, a bunch I can email, one I can call, and wow. I have one product that was on Shark Tank. It's not my product, but
wow.
I am the exclusive distributor for it, and I literally can just call him or text him, and he ships them directly to Amazon for me.
Oh my goodness. I didn't know that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, some of you who are kind of newbies who are here, and we're sitting here using some of these terms like with private label and everything. What Becky just said is so golden, because there's a lot of business. I guess there's a lot of different techniques that you can do to make money on Amazon, and some of them are hands-on, some of them are online arbitrage where you can sit in your pajamas and order and stuff. But private label is a great way to go. Like it may be hard at the beginning, but once you get like to a point like where Becky is, where you have the supplier, you've got someone that you can just say, hey, I need 100 more to send to wherever she needs to send them to. It's amazing, and that is the beauty. I mean, can you imagine when you get to the point that Becky's just saying, where you have the supplier, you have the product, you have a warehouse that you can ship it to, or even a supplier that can go straight from the supplier going to your prep house, and then the prep center will send it to Amazon for you, where you, like she said, you don't even touch the product. To me, that's an incredible business model. I mean, it's like you're not having to store it, you're not having to pack it, you're not having to, it's just, sometimes you'll pack it. It just depends if you're doing whatever. There's people that have it sent to their own house sometimes, and they'll bundle it, put the products together. But that's the way I love to do my private label too. Like at the beginning, I might have a sample sent to me, but then once I know that it's a good product, and then you can order, 100, 500, 1,000 items at a time, and tell your supplier. When I went to China, was it like 3 years ago on one of my trips, I met with one of my suppliers. They drove 3 hours to come and be with me, which was so awesome, because I was craving French fries. I was like, I need French fries, or some American food, and they came and, took me out, and we talked about our product. They gave me some more samples of products that are in their line. And so when you find a supplier, and I'm sure you find this out too, Becky, where let's just say that, it's a toy or whatever it is, then they might have a catalog with several other products. So once you find like a supplier, like the one that took me to lunch or dinner that day, we're still friends. We're on WhatsApp or WeChat or whatever we can use to communicate through China. And we're friends, and we've been friends, and she looks out for me. Once you find a golden, I call it a golden agent. And the reason why I say that is like, they love you and they'll do anything. This is how I do it. And I'm sure Becky can relate after I give this example. I can find a product and I pick it up and say, okay, I kind of like this. I mean, I like this idea. I take a picture, I send it to my agent, and I say, please find me, not just an item like it, but a quality item and a quality supplier. Do you find that to be what you try? I don't know how you probably have your own agents. How do you maybe share this, like a process of like from, in summary, like how do you find a product to getting it to on Amazon, like kind of like step by step there?
Yeah, so first of all, I don't really look for products. I look for keywords that people are already searching for, and then I go find the product to match the keywords that are in high demand.
Awesome.
So I kind of reverse it, and that's how I've done with all of my products. But one thing that you just mentioned, my suppliers in China, I literally can do like you said and take a picture and send it to them and say, can you find this? And sometimes they'll say, well, I found it, but it smells like gasoline, or they'll give me the quality before I even pay any money or anything. And so that's one of the things that I offer to my clients in the private label course is, hey, they'll do it for you as well, and it doesn't cost you anything. Wow. So it's a big time saver. Because I mean, if you waited for a sample and then you got it and you were like, oh my gosh, this, sponge smells like gas or whatever it may be, then you would have nixed that time that you would have gotten the sample.
Oh, wow. Absolutely. I mean, I think that's an interesting twist, guys. There's so many different people that make this model work, and it's incredible because there's some that find what's working on Amazon, some that, like with you, like the keywords. And then there's some people who just say, what's not on Amazon? And then they bring it to the market. It's interesting. And there's advantages and disadvantages to everything. But the bottom line is, if it's working, if it's working for you, like what is working for Becky, I mean, that's incredible for those of you coming on, those who will be on replay, watching her go exactly what she did. There's a way to find the keywords that people are searching, just like you and I both go to Amazon.com and we'll search for whatever, teeth whitening equipment or something like that. And then, you'll see the keywords that people are typing in, and Amazon, they favor those who are typing and finding your product. Your product will be, bumped up to where, hey, this lady knows, what she's doing. She's got her keywords, and I mean, the title and her description, everything is perfect. And so when you think about, I talk about this in some of my presentations when I talk about private label, and I think about, like, say, if you can find a product that, let's say, many on you who may be new and you're saying, all I want right now, I'd be happy to make my car payment of $300, $400 a month, and that for you, that's a great starting point, saying that and saying, okay, what do I need to do, to get to that point, And so I'm not sure how you do it, Becky, like if you go into one product and go deep, or do you find several and go wide, or you do a little bit of both? How do you do that?
I do consumables. So I love consumables because you have the client coming back month after month after month. In fact, I have some clients that have been with me the entire 5 years that I've been selling online for the consumable, the private label consumable, and they come back and back and back. So if you can find a niche, and so a lot of people are like, Becky, what's consumable? So consumable is something that you use, and then once you use it, you're going to buy more of it. So if you're just in your bathroom and you look around and you say, okay, toothpaste, deodorant, hairspray, all of those beauty and personal things are consumables. But think about things that aren't consumables either. What about things like oil filters? People don't think of those as consumables, or gaskets on your car, or belts on your bicycles, or chains on your bicycles. These are things that are going to break. People are going to buy more of. Nursing pads. How often are those changed? And people don't really think of things like that. They mostly think of, cleaning products and health and beauty, but there's so many other consumables. Like I work in the water and wastewater industry, and our whole lab is built on consumables. In where I work, we run a test, we analyze the water, and then the next day you run a test, you analyze the water over and over and over again, thousands and thousands and thousands of products that are used. So there's so many things that are consumables. And what I would challenge you to do is just get a pen and paper. I carry my book with me everywhere, and write down everything you touch for 2 weeks. Sometimes people are like, well, I don't want a private label toothpaste. We don't have to private label toothpaste, but maybe you could private label something that's comparable to the charcoal toothpaste that everybody's buying, or the fluoride-free teeth whitening kit that everybody's buying. And so if you think along those lines, then you can definitely make a lot of money on Amazon.
What a great nugget, guys. I mean, right there alone in like 20 to 30 seconds. I mean, I'm like, wow, you don't think about that, because one of the things that people get stuck on, like right off the bat when they're starting private label, at least when they talk to me, is they say, Joy, I don't know how to find a product. I don't know the best way to do it, And what Becky just said just there, that is a great answer. I mean, think about the things that you personally use on a daily basis, like even being a mother, being, a wife, being a grandmother, and just the things like I think about, like, I mean, I can think just things were coming through my head when Becky just said that, because, what are some of the things that, and as she says, consumables, because, as opposed to maybe, I mean, if you private label, say a hammer, and I'm just making up an object, but a hammer, that's probably something that would, you could sell once, and then people may replace it again in a few years if they lose it. But it normally doesn't break or whatever. But if you can think of products like what Becky's talking about, right?
The nails.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you're going to need nails, because the nails go in a wall, or the nails go in the wood, and you're going to need more. So you can think about things that people are going to need over and over again. What a great tip. And so once you find the product, and then, there's a way that we found it, then what is your next step? Because you don't touch it.
Yeah, so once I find a product and I send it to my supplier and they find it, I do get a sample. Even though they say it's good, I still get a sample. I don't care if I've ordered from them for 100 times. I always get a sample, even if I have them do an inspection on the ground, because I do get that one little sample, because I want to be sure myself. And another tip you can do is, once it's actually sent to Amazon, order from yourself on Amazon so that you can see the way that the customer's receiving your product from Amazon. Maybe Amazon is, butchering the box or crunching it up, or whatever the case may be. You can see how it's being delivered to your customer as well.
That's great advice right there, because, I know sometimes we get items like from Walmart or Amazon, and it's this little thing and they have it in this gigantic box, and they sometimes just don't, maybe they put bubble wrap, but not enough to where when it arrives at your door, it's smushed. I've had items like that, and it's so disappointing, but what a great idea. So then you can tell, how your customers are going to be receiving it.
Right.
And I do too. I always get a sample because you just never know, that looks great. Okay. Some people have people that actually live in China and they call them an inspection team. And so that's another way if you have that trust with whoever they are. But until you build that trust with and that relationship with the person who's, doing the inspection, you yourself should see exactly how Becky says, how am I receiving it? I think that's super important, such an important step. Okay. So you get the sample, you basically, you found your product, you've gotten the sample, you talk to your supplier or whatever. And so do you have it shipped to you, like the big quantity, or do you have them set up now where they can ship it to Amazon for you?
Directly to Amazon. But before we get there, I did have one little tip. My competitors on Amazon, they had a little product, but their instructions were in Chinese. So that was one of the
oh man,
opportunities for improvement. So what my supplier did is they created the whole packaging in English. And so I took away all the customers from my competitors because that was all the complaints. Their 1 stars was, this is in Chinese and I can't understand Chinese. And so that was another thing.
Great.
Pay attention to, a great little nugget for you. But no, I do not touch the product other than the sample. I have it shipped directly to Amazon. I do have a lot of suppliers here in the United States as well. We do have one product that we ship from our house because it is a hazardous material. And really weird. Amazon lets the single product, it's a hazardous material, and they have that one at the FBA warehouse. But when I bundled 2 complementary products together, even though both of them single are at Amazon, they won't let the complementary one or the bundled one become FBA. And I've tried and tried. I'll try again because I'm persistent, right? Amazon sellers are persistent bulldogs. So I will try and try and try again to get that hazardous material item. But Big Papa, so for those of you that don't know me, my husband's name is Bud and we call him Big Papa. And our Amazon business retired him in 2016. And so he takes our boys, well, they're at baseball right now, but he cooks and cleans and does everything with the boys. And I work a full-time career in my Amazon business.
Wow. That's an inspiring story right there alone, to be able to have a business to retire your spouse or your significant other or your mom, whatever, your mom or your dad or whatever you're trying to do. That's awesome. And, when you're talking about, I was going to make a point when you were saying that you have it shipped straight to Amazon. I just think that that's incredible to have that kind of relationship, to go straight from China, straight to your Amazon account. And then, that's what, to me, that's just an incredible way to do it. You don't have to touch the product. And when you have a relationship, you said that this supplier you've had for 5 years that you had.
Yes.
Wow.
I was so lucky. This was the first person that I met when I ordered my very first private label product. And I was just honest. I said, listen, I'm brand new. I don't have a clue what I'm doing. And she said, I'll help you. And she's helped me and helped all of my clients every step of the way.
Wow. And so I remember what I was going to say to you. You had mentioned and this is a great tip. And with what you said that your competitors, I'm sure, and this is something that you guys can do also, is read your competitors' the reviews and what's happening, like your competitor, and maybe they said, like what Becky said, it's in Chinese, or maybe someone would say, well, I love this product, but, and then they give a reason, or this product would be so much better if blank, and what I do is I actually have my virtual assistants, like if I find a product that I want to private label, part of the chart or the spreadsheet that they give me, I have them put the reviews. So that way, when I'm talking to my supplier, I'm like, I love this, I love the sample, but is there a way that you can do blah, 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 blah? And I'll just read the reviews that were 1 and 2 star or whatever. And they're like, yeah, that's easy. All we have to do is do this or do that. And then suddenly, not only are you, getting the instructions out of Chinese, like what Becky did, but you're also improving the product that people are complaining about that your competitors are selling the same product of. So that is a great tip that you had mentioned earlier. And so, all right, so then the rest is, it goes to your Amazon account, Amazon does the rest, and you go play baseball, watch your son's baseball game, or go hang out with your husband on a dinner date or something like that. Yeah. I mean, how many products would you say, and guys, you know what, you don't have to have like millions of products. I know some people who have 4 or 5 products, and all they do, literally, if that's the only business model they want to do, is they just text or call or Skype their supplier and say, I need 500 more. I need this much more. Please send it to Amazon. Because, you know, once you found some of those, you know, at the very beginning could be frustrating. That's what happens. People start doing this business and then they're like, oh, it's so hard. I can't even find a product. And then they quit. And then that's where Becky, that's what I was telling her, is so consistent. You know, it's like you even heard her just say, I'm persistent. I had this bundle and I'm trying to send this in and I'm going to keep on trying. And that's key, guys. It's like to hang around these kind of people like Becky, you know, to be able to be across the table from her at the VIP dinner or during the breaks and be able to pick her brain and say, you know, hey, I heard your interview and I heard you talking about this. And hey, can you kind of elaborate, you know, more about this? And I don't know, guys, there's just something magical about being in a room with entrepreneurs, you know, and e-commerce sellers that are trying to do exactly what you're doing. And, you know, you're together, you're trying to find, you know, the answer to maybe something that you're struggling with. And this is the way to do it. And so I'm going to post this link. It's underneath and, you know, you can, as Becky's talking, there it is right there. You know, if you want to come and hang out with Becky at our event next week on Thursday, it starts. You know, there's many of you listening who are within a 6-hour drive. We had an interview with Chris Green the other day, and he said something like, you know, if you're in Dallas, San Antonio, you know, Fort Worth, if you're even in, I can't remember the city he named that was outside of Texas, but he said it's a 6-hour drive. You know, this is where you can be, you know, and we're getting so close, guys. I don't know if, you know, I am. Last year we had some awesome speakers, and this year we have awesome speakers. And every year I'm just like, how in the world did this magical stuff happen where we have this many awesome people in the same place, you know? And it's not just the speakers, guys. I say this every time. It's the attendees. It's you guys who are coming and being able to learn. I mean, that's how I started this business is, yes, I was at a conference. I was listening to the speakers, but you know what? It was the people who were around me and who I ate lunch with. And, you know, we talked about our struggles together and just stuff like that. That's how I learn. And that's how you can learn, you know, our live events. And so we have 2 more. Every speaker that comes on here, there's 2 deeply discounted promo codes. We're not posting them because, you know, we're doing first come, first serve. If you are listening to this and you're like, man, I'm going to do whatever it takes to be there. And that's what you should be thinking if you're not coming. And you can private message Becky or private message me and say, I want one of those deeply discounted promo codes to come. And what we're doing is we're letting you also have the option, these last few days, we're adding a bonus to where if you want to come, it's not the coaching, but it's the VIP dinner the first night, we will let you upgrade, you know, for a special price as well for just the dinner part. Oh my goodness. I wish, you know, that doesn't always happen at conferences. Usually you have to buy this big bundle to do that. And that's the way it is. And the last thing is we've also added an installment plan. I mean, I know that there are a lot of people that do this and say, you have to have this paid for by the time the conference starts. But we're letting you guys put down, you know, it's broken up in 2 or 3 payments depending on which package. I've taken away every excuse I can think of to be able to get you guys here, you know? And when you listen to Becky, when you listen to all the other speakers that we bring on and you follow them, I mean, I want to come to my own conference. I say this every interview. And when Becky is speaking up there, I'm going to have my notebook and I'm going to be taking notes right along with you guys. There you go. So you can, you know, like I say, go to this link below. And, you know, and Becky has a bonus also. I'm trying to find it, unless you can talk about it while I'm finding it.
Yeah, so what I'm sharing on my bonus is how I started with $0 20 years ago and how I've made it all the way over to $1.3 million in sales. And I give you step by step by step by step action plans every single day for 30 days, what I did and what I continue to do every single day to have over $1.3 million in sales with e-commerce.
Wow. All right. So here it is. And we're just going to put this link now. He's amazing.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I wanted to say one other thing. You know, Charlie Tremendous Jones said that you're going to be the same person today, or you're going to be the same person in 5 years that you are today, except for two things: the books that you read and the people that you meet. So I want to meet you in Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th. So go to hangwithbecky.com. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to hugging you. If you're not a hugger, that's okay. I'll shake your hand. But I have met so many really, really cool people, and I'm looking forward to meeting the speakers as well, guys. And I will have my red notebook. You find me. I will have my red notebook, and I will be taking so many notes. I'm a note taker, because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, right? And so I'm going to be in the right place at the right time, and I want you to be there with me.
That's great. Thank you so much. I know you're such a busy lady, and thank you, viewers who are here live with us. I know some of you will be on replay when you listen to this. Thank you for coming on. And, you know, we've got those 2 promo codes that are available. If you message Becky or you message myself, we will give you that so that you can come to this conference. And it is going to be not just memorable, but it's going to be incredible. I mean, I am, you know, it's a very intimate conference to where it's smaller, to where you get to hang with the speakers. It's not one, I mean, I know that people, you know, have these gigantic conferences, and that's awesome. It's just that this particular one is to where literally, you know, during the network breaks, you will be able to rub shoulders with people like Becky. And that's just, to me, you know, so valuable. And that's what we're putting together for you guys. So we hope to see you guys in Houston. Thanks, Becky. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.
Bye.